Hello, this is David from David Studios Product, and today we're going to be playing the unreleased Dreamcast version of Half Life 1. It's pretty much the same as the first one, though I haven't completed it, and I heard some of the levels have been switched around, and some Dreamcast specific levels are put in, like most console ports. So let's get started, shall we? Half-Life menu is fairly simple. Nothing complicated going on. We're going to try the hazard course first, just to show you some gameplay. And oh yeah, and the loading screens, I'm going to be fast forwarding through them because the loading screens are a long time. So I'm going to speed them up to make it look like it doesn't take that long. Some of them can go on for like 30 seconds or more. Sometimes even a minute. So the controls are very awkward, and yeah, look at that. Move forward by pressing Y.
Hello and welcome to the Black Mesa Hazard course, where you will be trained.
This is that woman who shows up. I think she was in Half-Life Decay too.
Let's begin by stepping
for the
into your
PS2.
You can see it suspended up ahead of you.
And
if you see one of these buttons, press it,
let's
and
get
I will
started.
appear to demonstrate certain moves.
Come on, move. There we go. Okay, let's grab this suit. Now the cool thing about you might notice that there's some transitions. That's because I had to go into the settings and switch up some of the stuff, because basically everything's really sensitive. The controls are sensitive, the analog stick is sensitive, everything is sensitive. And here she's telling us getting comfortable in our HEV suit. But it's hard to get comfortable when your frickin' controls are the buttons and the analog stick instead of an analog stick and an analog stick. Just walking around. So the Dreamcast version was originally planned for release. And from the looks of it, it was completed. But with the failure of the Dreamcast, unfortunately, it never got published. And if someone can clear me up on whether this is complete or not, because I can't, I'm not able to complete it because I'm not really that good of a gamer. But the it went unreleased until it was leaked to the internet. And you can find the ISO on the internet. I'm not going to link to it because I don't want to get flagged or anything like that. Just in case. And so, like a lot of the there's a few unreleased Dreamcast games, and I'm going to get to another one in the next episode, which is going to be next week.
Now we will combine skills.
And
you will need to jump, duck, and then jump
man, I'm
again.
saying "and" a lot. And it uses it doesn't use the normal Dreamcast development software. It uses Windows CE, which you might have spotted on each of the Dreamcasts that said Windows CE compatible. That's because Microsoft released some development software for it, so you could have Windows CE, which is basically the embedded version of Windows. So people could easily port their Windows games to the Dreamcast. Of course, only a few games used it, including Half-Life. So, oh, by the way, if you see me turning my light on and off, it's not happening on purpose. It's because the control scheme is so awkward that because you use the directional pads for the Hughes key and the duck key and the jump key, that sometimes it's so sensitive that it'll register the flashlight key as well, and that's a problem.
Nice job.
I'm sure they could have fixed it if they released it. But the Dreamcast is probably my favorite console. I've got some games working on, some online games working on it. Recently too. So let's fast forward this. And I just like the games for the Dreamcast, like Phantasy Star Online. I got that to work. I tried to get Quake 3 Arena to work, but
if you want
I couldn't.
To come back down, just move backward.
What else is there? I love Sonic Adventure, and there's a lot of sites on the internet.
The next 3 jumps get harder each time, but they are quite possible.
Or there's one site in particular that lets you download Dreamcast saves.
If you can make all 3
as well as upload yours.
You are doing well.
And I'll put a link in the description for that site. And so basically, since the Dreamcast really has no download limit,
you might be jumping
except for the memory card, so that means you could theoretically you could download an MP3 file. I don't know if the VMU could hold it,
Great work.
but
Now
and
there's
if
one
you would
more
have to
style
have a
jumping
player
you
for it,
need to learn.
I'm pretty sure there's a homebrew MP3 player one.
Long jumping requires
But
its own charging module, seen here. To activate your long jump,
it'll
you have
download
to
pictures,
jump,
it'll download
and
MP3,
while
it'll
in
download
mid-air,
anything,
jump
even
again.
text files.
Once you're up on the platform,
So,
press the button and I will
and this was
demonstrate
before
the move.
everybody knew how to lock the internet download stuff. That's why you can't download PDFs on the iPhone. I'm an Apple person, but Android has its ups and downs.
Nice job.
So I've gotten a lot of Dreamcast games online, and as I got more interested in the Dreamcast, in fact, I didn't buy a Dreamcast until recently, like 2 years ago. 2 years ago. This isn't from my childhood. My parents got it for me for Christmas, and it was a really great gift. But the Dreamcast, I think, is a very good console, and I think it, like everybody says, it's way ahead of its time and everything, and yeah. But back to Half-Life.
Now that you're up here, there's
The textures
only one way down.
seem a little bit toned
Find
down,
the target on the floor below and do your best to hit it.
but not too toned
if you
down.
Take any damage from the fall,
It
we will
actually runs pretty
administer
good,
medical care
but
at the next
except for the
station.
loading times, and there's more loading times than the PC version of Half-Life. In fact, like almost every room in the first part you go into, has its very own loading screen, and it takes like 20 seconds to 45 seconds to load the screen. And there's just a bunch of stuff that's wrong with it. I mean, the save file, you pretty much have to delete everything on your VMU, visual memory card, or visual memory unit, just to be able to save this game. Of course, you always have the option to use the codes, which you'll see in a bit. Under every level there's a code that they give you, and you can use those codes in the options menu to basically the same way you use code systems for everything like Metroid, and you'll be able to
What you really need to do is push that box
leave the
down
game where
into
you
the pit.
sort of left
Pushing
off.
is easy.
Because all
Just
these
move forward
passwords are
against the
generic,
box,
it's
and
kind
you
of
can
like
push it into position.
they're not like specific to, oh, you got this weapon, okay, then this is part of the code now. No, it's not like that. It's much less
If you can't push the
intuitive,
obstacle out of your
if I
way,
think
you
I'm
might
using that
try
word right.
pulling it.
Oh,
To
and
pull a box, move
these
up
pulling
to it
boxes
and press
stuff,
your use key. While
I really
holding
don't
down
like.
the use key
I don't really
to keep
don't
a
like
grip
the
on
box pulling and stuff.
move
I get that it's
slowly
supposed to move like
The box
on a
will
grid
pull
kind
up.
of thing, but it's, I guess, just from playing Half-Life 2 so much before this, it's just hard to get used to, and even that's kind of kind of weird. But it's better than this. So the game didn't get released, and the ISO got leaked on the internet, and I don't think Valve really said anything about that. I guess you're going to have to correct me. Someone's probably going to correct me in saying that they did, but it doesn't look like they go after people for downloading it or something like that, because the ISO zone has been doing that, and they don't seem to go after it. But Valve has been a pretty good community people. So
make sure you picked up the crowbar,
they probably won't let this go down. Actually, you can even on the ISO zone, you can actually get the Windows CE development kit, or Windows CE development kit CD-ROM, and I haven't downloaded it, but I just saw it on there. But theoretically, if you had a Dreamcast development kit, you could make games for it. I mean, it would be illegal if you used the Dreamcast development kit, since you don't have a license for it. But you could.
20%.
There is
Power 40%.
there are a few new Dreamcast development software now, and there's new games being ported to the Dreamcast, though they're mostly just 2D shoot 'em ups. Really, somebody needs to make. I know it takes time and it's hard work, and you need a lot of people to do it, but someone should really make a new 3D game for the Dreamcast. I mean, even if it's a simple one, just a new 3D game, if it's good, it'd be cool, and maybe more people would start porting stuff to the Dreamcast again.
Great. Remember,
the one that I was looking at was Callistos, or Callistos. I forget how it's pronounced. But once I get my programming certificate and learn all that stuff, I'm going to, out of college, I'm going to try to develop something for the Dreamcast. Hopefully, I know it's going to be hard, but hopefully I'll be able to do something simple but good. I wish Microsoft would have released Windows CE Dreamcast for everybody and stuff, but guess not. And while I was talking earlier about the Dreamcast internet, I wasn't talking about a broadband adapter. I used frickin' dial-up for that stuff. Our cable company apparently had a hybrid network that was both regular and voice over IP. So, or maybe it wasn't voice over IP, maybe it was like regular network and cable network. But it was it let me use a free ISP from what was it? I think it's free dial-up or something like that. .com, .org, I forget. But it's a place, it's a website where they give you ISP or connection numbers, and if you're in California, only in California really, you can have dial-up for free, and that really helped me a lot because I can't really pay for dial-up. And I was lucky because, as most people probably know, or most tech guys, dial-up doesn't work over voice over IP just because voice over IP is digital, and modems were made to talk over analog waves.
Major fracture
After all, it's
detected.
modulation demodulation, basically converting digital signals and modulating them into sound signals. But that's really all for that. Then, so I really want to develop a game for the Dreamcast, and hopefully someday I can, because I love the Dreamcast, and it would be great if somebody could do that. I would love to report Quake 3 to the Dreamcast using id's source code, and use Callistios to and modify it with Callistios to be able to run it on the Dreamcast again. And that way, I could have an engine instead of building my own engine from scratch, which would be kind of hard to do.
This is the charging unit for your hazardous environment suit.
But
when you are running low on power, step up to any charger and press your use key.
So,
Your suit will recharge
the
gradually
rest of
until the charge
after
unit
the
is
hazard
depleted.
course, I'm going to stop talking and let the, because it's a little bit long and I'm running out of things to talk about. But after the hazard course, I'm going to start to
proximity to radiation activate the Geiger counter.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
and
not talk.
radiation display. Biohazards
I'm not
are
gonna
also
talk,
integrated with aluminum fiber.
and I'm gonna let you enjoy the Dreamcast version of it. I only played up until a little after
Detected.
Please advance to the next area.
anomalous materials. Like only a few minutes into unforeseen consequences, and I won't be playing Blue Shift. That's also on the disc, as you saw. But I will be playing. But I will be playing this. Oh, and if I haven't said already, next unreleased Dreamcast game
Lead a security guard into the next room. He will let you back
unreleased
into the
demo
transit
game
system.
is
You must approach a guard
Toe
and
Jam and
press
Earl
your use
3
key.
for the
He will
Dreamcast.
follow
It
you
came out on
until
the
you face
Xbox.
him and press
But
the
did you
use
know
key
that it
again.
was for the Dreamcast? Sure was. So, here we go. I had trouble with the security guard. I kept getting in the way and didn't realize I was in the way, so kept leading him in. And basically turned into a long mess. So, that's the end of my narration, or voiceover.
Sure, I'll follow you.
So, I'll let you enjoy the rest of this video. Bye.
Press your use key to engage the train. Press your forward and backward keys to increase or decrease the speed of the train. Press your use key again to disengage from the train. Congratulations on completing the Black Mesa Hazard course. You are now fully certified for use of the HEV Mark IV protective system. Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel. The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high-security area beyond Sector C, you will need to return to the Central Transit Hub in Area 9 and board a high-security train. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the retinal clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be permitted into the high-security branch of the transit system. Due to the high toxicity of material routinely handled in the Black Mesa compound, no smoking, eating, or drinking are permitted within the Black Mesa transit system. Please keep your limbs inside the train at all times. Do not attempt to open the doors until the train has come to a complete halt at the station platform. In the event of an emergency, passengers are to remain seated and await further instruction. If it is necessary to exit the train, disabled personnel should be evacuated first. Please stay away from electrified rails and proceed to an emergency station until assistance arrives. A reminder that the Black Mesa Hazard Course Decathlon will commence this evening at 1900 hours in the Level 3 facility. The semi-finals for high-security personnel will be announced in a separate secure access transmission. Remember, more lives than your own may depend on your fitness. Do you have a friend or relative who would make a valuable addition to the Black Mesa team? Immediate openings are available in the areas of materials handling and low clearance security. Please contact Black Mesa personnel for further information. If you have an associate with a background in the areas of theoretical physics, biotechnology, or other high-tech disciplines, please contact our civilian recruitment division. The Black Mesa Research Facility is an equal opportunity employer. A reminder to all Black Mesa personnel, continue employment in the Black Mesa Research Facility. Missing a scheduled urinalysis or radiation checkup is grounds for immediate termination. If you feel you have been exposed to radioactive or other hazardous materials in the course of your duties, contact your radiation safety officer immediately. Work safe. Work smart. Your future depends on it. Now arriving at Sector C test labs and control facilities. Please stand back from the automated door and wait for the security officer to verify your identity. Before exiting the train, be sure to check your area for personal belongings. Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
things.
Hey, Mr. Freeman. I had a bunch of messages for you, but we had a system crash about 20 minutes ago, and I'm still trying to find my files. Just one of those days, I guess. They were having some problems down in the test chamber, too, but I think that's all straightened out. They told me to make sure you headed down there as soon as you got into your hazard suit.
Hello there. As I expect, get away from there, Freeman. I'm expecting an important message. Hello. Ah, hello, Gordon Freeman. It's good to see you. That's odd. My God, what are you doing? Weren't you supposed to be in the test chamber half an hour ago? Someone has hidden my glasses again.
Welcome to the HEV Mark IV protective system for use in hazardous environment conditions. High impact reactive armor activated. Atmospheric contaminant sensors activated. Vital sign monitoring activated. Automatic medical systems engaged. Defensive weapon
like you're in the barrel
selection
today.
system activated. Munition level
it's good to see you.
monitoring activated. Communications interface online. Have a very safe day.
Launch officer reports. Alpha satellite deployed nominal.
It's good to see you. Ah, Gordon, here you are. We just sent the sample down to the test chamber.
We've boosted the anti-mass spectrometer to 105%. Bit of a gamble, but we need the extra resolution.
The administrator is very concerned that we get a conclusive analysis of today's sample. I gather they went to some lengths to get it.
They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber.
This analysis is going to run perfectly today, don't you think?
It's about to go critical.
What the hell is going on with our equipment?
It wasn't meant to do this in the first place.
I'm afraid we'll be deviating a bit from standard analysis procedures today, Gordon.
Yes, but with good reason. This is a rare opportunity for us. This is the purest sample we've seen yet.
And, potentially, the most unstable.
Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely unlikely.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
Ah, yes, you're right. Gordon, we have complete confidence in you.
Well, go ahead. Let's let him in now.
Testing. Everything seems to be in order.
All right, Gordon. Your suit should keep you comfortable through all this. The specimen will be delivered to you in a few moments. If you would be so good as to climb up and start the rotors, we can bring the anti-mass spectrometer to 80% and hold it there until the carrier arrives. We'll take it from here.
Power to stage 1 emitters in 3, 2, 1. I'm seeing predictable phase arrays. Stage 2 emitters activating now.
Gordon, we cannot predict how long the system can operate at this level, nor how long the reading will take. Please, work as quickly as you can.
Overhead capacitors to 105%. It's probably not a problem. Probably, but I'm showing a small discrepancy in... Well, no, it's well within acceptable bounds again. Sustaining sequence.
I've just been informed that the sample is ready, Gordon. It should be coming up to you any moment. Look to the delivery system for your specimen.
Oh dear!
Gordon, get away from the beam!
Shutting down. Attempting shutdown. It's not shutting down. It's not. Why didn't they listen? We tried to warn them.
I never thought I'd see a resonance cascade, let alone create one.
Gordon, you're alive. Thank God for that hazard suit. I'm afraid to move him and all our phones are out. Please, get to the surface as soon as you can and let someone know we're stranded down here. You'll need me to activate the retinal scanners. I'm sure the rest of the science team will gladly help you. All right. Look at those peculiar markings.
Automatic medical systems engaged. Morphine administered.
Man, am I glad to see you. What the hell are these things? And why are they wearing science team uniforms? What is that smell? Roger that. Let's run like hell. Got one.
Power 20%. Power 40%.
Bet that stings a bit.